Well, we've been talking about things heating up and acting up in the Atlantic and Caribbean, and we've got Hurricane Beryl, Category 5 storm, and another system to watch. So Beryl became quickly a Category 5 storm, the second named storm of the season, and already we have our first Cat 5 under our belt. 165 mile per hour sustained winds, and it's going to be tracking west. It doesn't look like Beryl is going to be a threat to the United States coastline, but next up is Jamaica, the Yucatan Peninsula, and also the coast of Mexico once again. But this could just be a sign of things to come. We also have another system behind it, 20% chance of cyclone formation within the next 48 hours, but 30% chance as we head in the next 7 days. So remember, tropical systems are on a much longer timeline. And one of the interesting things about Beryl is just how rapidly it intensified, and it's at its theoretical maximum. So computationally, we can look at water temperatures and all the elements that feed into a tropical system and come up with a theoretical maximum that storm could reach. And Beryl's reached it. It's very uncommon for a storm to reach that theoretical maximum. And it's all being fueled by these very warm waters, of course, in the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and globally. We've been seeing some very warm ocean temperatures. But yeah, this is the path that Beryl has taken and will continue to take, all above normal water temperatures. So satellite imagery showing a defined eye wall, just as you'd expect with an intense storm, a Category 4 or 5 storm. And it is moving west-northwest towards Jamaica here, and as I mentioned, eventually the Yucatan Peninsula as well by the weekend. So this is the official National Hurricane Center forecast showing that track of Beryl, then that cone of uncertainty, which does touch the southern tip of Texas, but most models do keep it just south of the United States. What happens with future storms? It's just the beginning of the season. Of course, that's a big question. So here's Jamaica. This is the European model. Jamaica here by midday Wednesday, and then slamming into the Yucatan as a weakened storm, though, by early Friday. Still a hurricane, but probably not a Cat 5 the way most of the models are panning out. But this is showing the swath of the highest wind gusts. So this gives you a good idea of the path of the center of Beryl. And you can see that those winds do weaken slightly as it gets towards the Yucatan. But Jamaica will be bracing for a very intense system. And of course, one of the big things with a hurricane is not just the wind gets a lot of attention, but flooding rains and storm surge, up to a foot of rainfall with Beryl as it continues to move west. And then beyond the weekend, as we head towards midday Monday, that's when it will probably hit the Mexican coastline just south of Texas, and then we'll be watching that next system behind it. And a reminder, the National Hurricane Center forecasting 85% odds of an above normal Atlantic hurricane season. And since we've already had a couple systems here, and it's just the start of July, not hard to believe that. So there's Beryl, and here's the list of other storms as we head through the rest of the season. So unfortunately, it does look as though we should prepare for a very active Atlantic hurricane season. Warm waters and a couple of storms already under our belt.